Hello. I'm going to be a little honest with you. I'm a little concerned because My sim hasn't loaded yet. It's been loading for like 15 minutes. So I'm not too sure what's going on with that, but I'm gonna switch it over to the face cam here in just a minute, so we can talk to each other while it's loading, I guess. How are y'all doing? Welcome out, welcome out. Wait just a second here. I'm concerned that the sim has crashed and it just hasn't shown me yet. So hopefully it decides it wants to work relatively soon. Because I would like to actually stream. I wonder if I should what do we think? Anybody that's here, should we restart? Worth restarting the stream? What do we think? Or not the stream, the flight sim. Look at Task Manager and see if it's crashed. It hasn't crashed. Is it FS Realistic holding it up? I closed FS Realistic. I'm concerned. And I'm going to close everything and try it again, because I wonder if there's something that I have open that's conflicting with it. So we got that closed. Let me try starting the sim again. Sorry about that, chat. Give me just 1 second. Maybe it'll work. Anyway, I got up super early this morning. Like, I think we got up at like 5:45 this morning, so I'm a little tired. But I'm gonna do my best to give you guys a good stream. I think the plan today is to take off from Melbourne in Australia, fly down to Hobart, and then we'll turn around and come back. So, hopefully we can get that going. Sim's trying to start in safe mode. See if we can get this dadgum thing to boot up. Dadgummit. Always love simulators taking forever. So, little updated things going on. There's gonna be part 2 of the MD80 tutorial going up tomorrow. I apologize it's taking so long to get the second part up. Just kind of got ahead of me there. So that's going up tomorrow finally. And then Monday is going to be the 100 subscriber little special setup tour thing, which should be pretty fun. I'm gonna try to record that tomorrow. If I can't get it recorded tomorrow, I'm gonna record it Sunday for sure and then get that uploaded, so y'all can make fun of my setup come Monday, of course. I also today worked on getting X-Plane 12 set up. So kind of my thinking with that is the main thing on the channel is going to be Microsoft Flight Simulator, of course. It's just the better sim, but with X-Plane we'll be able to add in some variety. Like I have the Flight Factor 757 installed, also have the Q4XP installed as well, and I actually did a couple flights with the Q4XP today and it worked okay. It looks ugly as hell, but it worked okay. So I might throw in an X-Plane stream on here, maybe next week. Got this booted up. Let's see if we can actually load into the sim. Should have live weather. Everything is live. Fly. So hopefully we can get in. It's loading a lot faster this time. But I hope you're all doing great. I'm doing pretty well. I'm going on a trip this weekend down to the Lake of the Ozarks, which I'm very excited about. Oh, sweet. We are loaded in. Awesome. Alright, just 1 second here. Fucked that up. Sweet. Awesome. All right, let me get that going. Let me get this going. Got to get all my programs started back up, so give me just a second. YMML, YMHB. That's rocking and rolling. Let me get... Oh, what are you doing? This going. Am I missing anything? I'm not. What's going on, Price? How you doing? All right, because we had to get all this crap restarted, I'm gonna go ahead and start it in the turnaround state. So almost there, I promise. Do I like your PFP? I don't really have a way to get a closer look at it, but it looks like an Air New Zealand. Is that an A320? If that's the case, I think I do like it. Alright, we have finally made it in. Welcome to Melbourne. Flying the Qantas Retro 737. Should be a pretty fun flight, I believe. Hopefully the progress bar is going to be going. Let me get connected to VKBsim, and we're not going to waste any time getting started. We'll get rolling. So we are QFA 1005 for the first flight. Boeing 738. Get connected. Everything's loading up. Everything's loading in. Perfect. Sounds like we got other traffic on the other side of the terminal over there somewhere. Doing some airplane things. But without further ado, let's not waste any time. Let's get this going, because I know we've been sitting here for 15 minutes to be exact. So we'll get rocking and rolling. We need to go into here, fuel. Actually, hold on one second. Here you go, options. No, aircraft, equipment. Displays? Oh, here we go. We're gonna switch it over to kilograms since we're in Australia. So now, when we go to load up the plane, fuel, there we got kgs, 7.4. And then our zero fuel weight is gonna be 59.5. That needs to go into the payload one, doesn't it? Yep. Perfect. Our nav date is out of date. It's one cycle out of date. It's not going to affect us too crazy on this flight. So I apologize. Let's get everything turned on. Should be looking good. We'll get the... Come back up this way. See what's going on over here. Everything's looking good. Get our seatbelt sign on. Chime on. Window heat on. Get our hydraulics the way we want them configured. APU bleed comes on. And the packs can turn on for now until we push back out of here. Sweet. Position in it. We are at YMML Melbourne. We'll grab our GPS left and pop it in there. And we are going to YMHB Hobart as Qantas 1005. Put that in there. We're going to be taking off runway 27. And we can get our route plugged in really quick here. We got Sunty. Then we're going to be taking the H169 to Ursum. We got the V33 to Morgo. That's where we'll pick up the arrival from there. So that is looking good there. We'll go departures. Runway 27, we're going to be taking the Sunty 3 departure. No transition. And that should work out fine for us there. Perfect. We can get this all plugged in real quick. Our reserve fuel today is going to be 1 kilogram. Or 1,000 kgs. Yeah, 1,000 kilograms. 1 kilogram of reserve fuel would not be a whole lot. That in, we're going to be cruising at flight level 330. Cruise winds 213 at 41 as per sim brief. So that should be good there. And we'll jump up here to the overhead real quick and get 33,000 feet plugged in up here as well. There we go. Down here in one limit, we're going to be using Toga for takeoff because it is a little bit of a shorter runway. Not too short though. Get our speeds in here, 138, 140, 149. So we'll put in 164 as our V2 plus 15. That should be golden. Get our flight directors on. And then when we're looking at the chart here, we'll look at the departure chart real quick. And it looks like our transition altitude here in Australia is 10,000 feet. And I don't see a top altitude in the chart, although of course Australia might operate different than what I'm used to. But we'll go ahead and put in our cruise altitude of 33,000 feet. So we'll scroll this sucker up. Price to see you just finished school. How was school? I hope it wasn't too boring of a day. Hopefully it wasn't anyway. We'll get VNav, LNav turned on. And then departing out of here, we're going to be flying a heading of 263. So we'll crank this bad boy around. I probably should have went the other way. It probably would have been quicker. $263. Headings in there. Let's go ahead and get the APU started while we're at it. Fuel pumps on. And APU starting up. As we'll be ready for pushback before you know it. So I'm going to try something brand new. A new command I just added today and see if it works. I wonder if it does. You gonna work? Okay, apparently that doesn't work. Alright, fine. Whatever. I'll just do this my way then. I'll get the METAR from Navigraph. Oh, hey, there it is. There's our METAR. Just took a minute. Alright, winds are 240 at 21. Some strong winds getting out of here. Visibility's looking good. Few clouds at 3,300, 7,800, and 3,500 CB. I don't know what CB means, I'll be honest. We can go 1007 for the QNH. And we should be good. We'll just get the last of our VKBsim stuff set up here. Transponder is on. We're squawking mode C. Oh, we got somebody on Melbourne Center. So let's give them a call. Maybe. We might be outside of his airspace. I'm gonna ask the controller. I want to try to be nice. I don't want to screw up. And he posted up an ATIS here from Melbourne. Okay. We'll see what he says before we do anything. But we got the APU rolling. Everything's looking mighty fine. So if I'm going off of, let me justify my question I just asked. So if I'm going off of the sectors here showing in SimAware, he technically doesn't cover Melbourne based off of this. But we'll contact him for clearance. So that sounds good. All right, so he is going to be on $134,325. I gotta make sure I got my ears on so I can understand Australian accents. It's my favorite accent in the world. I'm gonna have to try hard to understand it because I'm so used to hearing American accents. Alright, we'll look at craft real quick. Hopefully getting 2.7. Hopefully it doesn't change up too much here. I'm gonna mute the music so I can get a good listen to ATC. ATC. I'm going to get the SIDS up. So the way we're going to call, since we're not in the United States, I believe it is call sign, stand, aircraft type, information, and IFR clearance. So we'll give that a try and see if that suffices. So it should be Melbourne Center. Should be good, should be good. Alrighty. I'm actually going to go ahead and write down Sunty 3. As well, departure's probably going to be with him. 134.325. Let's give this a go. Melbourne Center, good evening. Qantas 1005s at stand Charlie 6 at Melbourne. It's a type 737. Looking for IFR clearance to Hobart with information Papa.
Qantas 1005, good afternoon, Melbourne Centre. You're cleared to Hobart by Sunti planned route via the SID climb to 5000, runway 27, Sunti 3 departure, squawk 4207 and departures on 123.75.
Cleared to Hobart, Sunti 3, departure then as filed. We'll climb via SID up to 5000, departing runway 27, Sunti 3. Departure on 123.75, squawking 4207 for Qantas 1005.
Qantas 1005.
Perfect.
Melbourne Centre, good afternoon. Velocity 845 to Sydney, request Airways.
So we're good.
Velocity 845, good day, Melbourne Centre. You're cleared to Sydney via Dosel planned route, via the SID climb to 5000, runway 27. Dosel
Do I call for departure?
Squawk 7216, departures are 123.75.
Velocity 845, clear to Sydney via Dosel planned route, runway 27, Dosel 1 departure, climb via SID 5000, squawk 7216, departures 123.75, we're on Bay Echo
420.
Qantas, correction, velocity 845 and just squawk mode Charlie on the ground, thanks.
Perfect.
Full car, velocity 845.
And Melbourne Center, Qantas 1005 is ready for push and start.
Qantas 1005, push approved.
Push approved, 1005. Alright, let's do it. Let's get GSX rocking and rolling here. Prepare for push and start. I probably should have called when I was exactly ready for push, but this will work just fine. Hopefully there's not any traffic around us, and it doesn't look like there is at the moment, so that should be okay. So we'll get this thing rolling. Make sure we get the APU on the bus before we start rolling back, or else we're not going to have any power. Get the beacon light on. Be rolling with Qantas. And it's looking like we're going to be doing nose to the left out of here. So if we look over here, yeah, there's terminal there. What am I doing with my camera? Hello.
Melbourne delivery, correction, Melbourne Centre, strategic 9061 to Sydney, requesting clearance.
Perfect.
Strategic 9061, good day, Melbourne Centre. You're cleared to Sydney via Dosel planned route. Via the SID climb to 5000, runway 27. Docile 1 departure, squawk 4234, and departures on 123.75.
So it's looking like we'll take off and we'll contact departure.
Strategic 9061 clear to Sydney by Docile planned route, Docile 1 departure runway 27, climb by the SID to 5000, squawking 4234, departures 123, Docile 75, Golf 45 for the back.
Strategic 9061.
Jet 737 request.
Be interesting.
737, go ahead.
Jet 3 flight level 360 final level.
I don't fly in Australia very often. Actually, this is the first time in a very long time.
And I can get you to 370.
So we got lots of learning today.
Sorry, negative.
Nose to the left, tail to the right.
26.
Just 737, can you switch over? What frequency are you transmitting on? You're breaking up.
You get me 124.
Roger, sir. Can you switch over to 134.325?
134.325, Jet 737.
So I'm actually going to look. That's oceanic. I wonder if...
Jet 737 request on plan flight level 260.
Roger, just 737, climb flight level 260.
Thanks, climb flight level 260, Jet
I wonder if they use real frequencies here. I should probably see what the hell they're up to here. That pack. Because I don't want to be breaking the rules. I know it's top down, usually. But,
Sorry, just confirming Jet 737.
airspace.
That's an acceptable level, flight level 260.
Rashida, how's it going?
Just 737.
Welcome out, welcome out.
260.
Okay, 12375. Be departure. Should be good. 123, 12, 2.6. It looks like he's extending down to Hobart as well. No, just kidding. 123. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how things work in Australia. First time. All right, let's push. I guess we got to go down here and remove the wheel chocks as well.
Release pink push, please. All engines clear. Start at will.
Start at will is given. Start rolling. Ground start. You just survived 55 degrees Celsius temp. Dang, what is that in freedom units? In case you can't tell by my accent, I'm American. Have to use the idiot machine. 130. Holy crap. How did you do that? Dang. That's hot. Where in the world did you end up getting in that kind of temperature? Saudi Arabia. Oh, okay. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Frederick, how's it going? Sorry, I missed you. I missed you up there. Hope you're doing well. You're American born. Gotcha.
Please set parking brakes.
Alright, we'll set the parking brake. We gotta get engine number 1 started. I forgot I have this on the real method, so we have to press the brake, set the parking brake. We'll get our taxi chart up and get ready to taxi here. It's like we're going to be coming out of Terminal 1, short of Tango. The Charlie gates, short of Tango. 109 degrees. Jeez. I thought it was hot here in Missouri. Like 100 degrees. All right, fuel's introduced.
Unlocking gear.
Engines are lighting up. That's what we like to see. We'll set the trim 4.5, 4.6 roughly. Somewhere right there in the middle.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pit.
AZ, that would be Arizona.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
All right, start switches off. We'll get the engines on the bus. Start switches to continuous. Packs on. Go to auto for the isolation valve. APU bleed off. The rest of our hydraulics on. Pitot heat on and turn off the APU. Come back over here. We want flaps 5 for departure. So that should be solid. Guess we can start the timer as well. And with that, I believe we are ready for... Oh. Set parking brakes immediately. GSX was not done. You done yet? Walking away as slow as possible, my guy. Okay, I think they're done now. Alright, let's make sure we're on mode C, and we are. Let's give them a call and get some taxi clearance. Melbourne Center, Qantas 1005 at Charlie 6, ready to taxi runway 27.
Qantas 1005, taxi 2 holding point for power runway 27.
Holding point, Papa, shorter runway 27 for Qantas 1005. Perfect. That's just going to be straight ahead. Off the brakes. Born in Missouri, that's where I live. So you probably know well some of the wacky weather we can get here. So we're just going to be taxiing straight ahead. Go ahead and get things ready for departure because we're going to be taking off right there. Go ahead and get the wing lights on. Runway turnoffs can come on. Take a quick look around. Make sure we're not cutting anybody off or doing anything crazy, which we're not. So far, so good. Departure is 123.75. We already have that in. We should be good there. And this is holding point Papa right here. Even though there's no yellow line, it's right here. We'll just make sure we hold a decent amount short. Alright, we got climb via SID, except maintain 5,000 on departure. So we got to put our altitude back down to 5,000. Should have done that earlier. Get our auto throttle armed and ready to go. Final check here. Glad I did. Auto brake RTO needs to happen. Alright, I believe we're ready. And I want to have the departure chart up in case he gives me RNAV hoopla or hopla. So should be good there. Melbourne Center, Qantas 1005, short of 27 at Papa, fully ready.
Qantas 1005, contact me airborne, runway 27, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff. Runway 27, Qantas 1005. And was that a contact you on departure for 1005?
Qantas 1005, affirmative, and you can switch over now if you want.
Alrighty, sounds good. Runway 27, clear for takeoff, and we'll contact you on departure. 1005, thanks. Port Orphanages, New York. Oh, I think I remember now. Sorry, I'm really bad with memory, and I'm also really tired now. So, I apologize. New Orleans, Halifax,
Strategic 9061.
Moscow, before being adopted by a single Saudi Arabian. Gotcha.
Push approved.
Alright, we're ready for departure.
9061.
Head tracker's coming on.
And strategic
kinda look around.
9061, can you just squawk mode Charlie on the ground?
Nothing on the arrival, nothing on the departure. So we'll get lined up here. Oh, I just messed up the head tracker. God blessed. Stop it. I can move my head, Keegan. Alright, we're lined up. Let's get throttles 40%. Start the clock.
259 heavy, flight level 340.
And Toga.
Plus 259 heavy, g'day Melbourne Centre, squawk 3752.
Squawk 3752, Qantas 259.
80 knots cross-checked. There's 100.
Plus 259 heavy, identified, maintain flight level 340.
Maintain 340, Qantas 259.
There's a rotate. Gear coming up. Flying the flight director. Gets a 1,000 feet, autopilot coming on. There we go, just so we can get things situated here. Need to get our TCAS on, I forgot to do that. Very important. Flaps coming up. And departure good day, Qantas 1005, climbing through 2,800 for 5.
Qantas 1005, identified by the seat climb to flight level 330, cancel speed restrictions.
By the SID, flight level 330, cancel speed restrictions, Qantas 1005.
Jetstar 737, no further ATC service available, radar services terminated, contact Unicom 122, decimal 8 today.
Alright, we're going up to 330, we can cancel speed restrictions. That should be good. Funny enough, Rashida was a bunkmate with you in Moscow. Oh, really?
Melbourne Centre velocity 845, request pushback.
0.
45, push approved.
I guess it is a small world, huh?
Velocity 845.
We are out of here. Look at Australia. There's Melbourne down there. The view of Kangaroo Land is beautiful, isn't it though? Always wanted to visit Australia. I want to go explore the outback a little bit. Not like so far that everything tries to kill me, but I'd really like to go just kind of explore Australia. It just seems like such an interesting place. And the Australian accent is my favorite accent, so of course I want to go hang out with some Australians. We'll get our gear lever turned off, disarm the speed brake.
Favour runway 27. Are you able to accept 27, or we could fit you in on 16 if you want?
Everything here is looking fine. We're waiting until 10,000. We'll switch over to standard pressure, get the landing lights off. As always, please let me know if something's weird with the audio. And that goes for any time. What I hear in my ears isn't exactly what you guys are hearing in the stream, so I want to make sure you guys are getting good audio. It's 10,000, standard pressure. Get our landing lights off. We can clean up the overhead a little bit, get the wing lights off, and everything is good.
965 Quebec, request taxi. Strategic 9061, taxi by Alpha Echo to holding.
Fetus
point for
McCletus
runway 27.
from Melbourne. Interesting.
Echo for pass 7, strategic 9061.
We'll bing the cabin, let them know we're through 10,000. And he gave us cancel speed restrictions, so we're just climbing out. We're going for it. And I gotta keep my ears tuned for Qantas 1005. Make sure I can hear, because there's a good chance I could miss it, since I'm not used to the accent. That's a major reason why I avoid flying in like Europe when ATC's on, because I'm like, I am not gonna understand a word. It's my small American brain. I won't be able to understand a goddamn word that you say to me. But I try. I give a solid effort. I give my best effort. So we're climbing out of here. We're gonna be with center for a little bit, it's looking like. Melbourne Center until we're over the ocean quite a ways down to Hobart, and we'll see if his coverage is extending out that way. I'm not sure, but it'd be cool if it did, if we had full ATC.
Melbourne Center boss D845 in receipt of Quebec, request taxi.
Oh, look at the ground here.
Boss 45, taxi
That looks so
via
good.
Alpha Echo to holding point for part runway 27.
Alpha Echo for power runway 27 boss D845.
Look at that. I know there's a cloud in the way at the moment, but it looks really good. Maybe I'm thinking it's looking so good because I spent the whole day flying an X-plane. So I'm kind of like, everything looks good. These clouds look amazing compared to X-plane.
Good afternoon.
Currently building a 2-story cabin. Oh, really? How's that going?
Sorry, station calling Sagan, your call sign.
I've always wanted to do like a homesteading thing where I build my own place and everything like that. I don't think I have the
46, good afternoon.
carpentry know-how or the ability to do that. But I think it's super cool.
23 departure, score.
Nearly down? Nearly done? Nice. Brown Pot, how's it going? Welcome to Australia. Just departed out of Melbourne. We are on our way, solidly on our way to Hobart. Let's pop down here and get a little arrival time update here. Get you guys an ETA actually this time. We're just going to use the one that's in the 737. There you go. Actually remembering to give an ETA for once. How about that?
Good afternoon, QJet 21.
So this is something I really like so far about Australia, this area, is they have this map that can help you break down what frequencies you'll be talking to in terms of like the center. So we took off out of Melbourne, which is right here, and taking off out of here, we talked to Melbourne Center on 123.75, which is still where we're at. And we'll see if we end up switching to a different frequency here.
Strategic 9061, contact me airborne runway 27, clear for takeoff.
But
Contact you airborne runway 27, clear for
but yeah,
takeoff, strategic
they have this kind of breakdown here of what's going on, and I really like it. Big fan of this. Big fan of it. So we'll just have to see what's going on. Because I wonder if he's also controlling down here, because this is also part of Melbourne Center. Down here, I believe. Yeah, ML. at least according to what it's been so far, if that makes sense. It's super cool. Super cool. VAT pack. I love this. More places should do this. All right, let's see.
Melbourne Centre, g'day, just up 451, request
I want to kind of
Sydney with Quebec.
explore this a little bit.
Star 451, good afternoon, Melbourne Centre. You're cleared to Sydney via Docile, planned route. By the Sid Qantas 5000.
Persist in
runway 27.
essentially several changes.
One departure, score 4366 and departures 12375.
Controller currently operating the parent position.
Clear to Sydney via Delta, planned route. Delta 1 departure, runway 27, climb by the Sid 5000, squawk 4366, and departure is 123.75. Chester 451.
Star 451.
Melbourne Centre, lost the 845, ready on ranging.
So it looks like Melbourne would be controlling all these centers.
Lost the 845.
It's kind of cool. I like it.
Melbourne Centre, QFA Airport 6, request taxi to departure runway 27.
So it looks like they're kind of just doing this to make sure there's quality ATC whenever there's a controller on.
Qantas 846, just confirm you need to push.
Which I'm a big fan of.
I don't recall giving you push instructions, sir.
Melbourne Centre, I might have come online before you guys, so I might have pushed the station online. Qantas Airport 6.
846, stand by.
He just tried the "I was here before you were" strategy. When you said brown pot, I thought you said grandpa. Hey, they're close enough, right?
Strategic 9061, passing 1,800 kilometers, 5,000.
Strategic 9061.
New under detail.
Identified by the Sid Qantas flight level 390, cancel speed.
Operating procedures. Local instructions. Hobart.
Sorry, say again, sir.
Can we cancel the height requirement at PEBDAC?
Strategic 9061, AFIRM, cancel all height requirements.
Cancel all height requirements, Strategic 9061.
Centre, Qantas 259, we're at 5 miles from TD.
PFR operations inbounds. We got
259, you're cleared the Lizzie 9
operation
Alpha
stuff.
runway 27, when ready, descend to flight level 210.
Lizzie 9 Alpha over runway 27.
We'll just see what's going on.
290, Qantas 259.
Strategic 9061, I've got track shortening directed docile if you want.
We'll see what's going on.
AFIRM, Strategic 9061.
9061, cancel SID from present position, track directed docile plan route.
Present position, direct docile.
Oh, the waves there look really good. Look at that. You can see the white caps. How about that?
Velocity 845, contact me airborne, runway 27, clear for takeoff.
So we're out of here.
Velocity 845.
Qantas 846, taxi to Horning Point Papa, runway 27.
Taxi via Papa, holding point runway 27, Qantas Airport 6.
We could look here in Volanta and see what's going on. Here we are right here. Our active flight. We can get a screenshot here in a minute of our plane if we want to. We took off out of Melbourne. Right hand out, or left hand out of there. And now we're still smack dab in the middle of Melbourne Center's airspace. Which is super cool. We're getting ATC. I love it. I really do.
Melbourne Centre, Again QJet 21, passing 2,800, tracking direct Hindi.
QJet 21.
It's one of those times I wish Jonathan from Twitch was here. He could help me translate what's going on.
Flight level 290.
Clear to Melbourne via Hindi, flight level 290, QJet 21.
So today, in my car, I replaced the brake lights, the tail lights. And I actually had a moment, a Ron Swanson moment, where I knew more than the person that was giving me the brake lights, because I made the comment of usually, from what I've read, brake lights and tail lights, they're the same bulb, but there's 2 filaments in the bulb. So let me show you.
Bay Golf 46.
Start 451, push approved.
Push approved, Jet 451.
So this is...
Plus 259, just confirm, are you squawking 3752, sir?
Was that for Qantas 1059?
Negative, sir. Qantas 259 heavy, do you copy?
Hey, firm, it was 3652. I've switched to 3752 now, Qantas 259.
259, thanks.
What the fuck call did I just... We're at 10:05. God damn it. Anyway, in case you can't tell, I'm a little tired. So, if you see here, enhance. The taillight bulb has 2 filaments in it. One of those would be your brake lights, and one of those would be just your regular running tail lights at night. At least that's the way it is here in the United States. So, I told the guy, I'm like, listen, I'm like, usually they're the same bulb. And he's like, no, they're not the same bulb. And I'm like, oh, great. Because I only saw 2 bulbs and they were both burnt out in my car. So I had that moment. I knew more than him. I'm holding myself to that. But, I don't know. I thought it was a little funny. Because what I was thinking was like, well, shoot, if it's not the bulb that's burnt out, right? Then maybe there's a fuse. Okay, if it's not the fuse that's burnt out, then maybe there's some kind of major electrical problem that's going on. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with a major electrical problem in my car. That doesn't sound very fun. So, luckily it was just the bulb. I replaced it. It was easy. I had to like pry the casing for the bulbs out, which was fun. It was a good time. Alright, looks like about 100 miles will be top of drop. We're getting up to top of descent, or top of climb now. You got a vintage car? What'd you get? Come on, brag about it. Brag about it. I want to hear you brag about it. Best elites. What's today? It's the 17th. Has there been no flight sim news today? Are you kidding me? In case you didn't see, FS Labs released their Concorde. Here it comes. I'm gonna be that guy. Buyer beware. Do not purchase FS Labs products. They will steal your credit card information and your personal information in the name of anti-piracy. So do not purchase FS Labs products. Period.
846, verify level, sir.
Got a 1941 Volkswagen Beetle. Nice. 41 VW Beetle. Oh, yep. That's the body style I was thinking of. I love it. I mean, the Beetle is such an iconic car. Just the design, the little bitty engine in the back. I love it. But we can look, just to drill home my point about the FS Labs.
Request taxi to 27.
Start 451, taxi by Alpha Echo to holding point for power runway 27.
Flight Sim Labs fights piracy by installing malware. Company owner tells customers not to worry. But, Yeah, FS Labs is installing malware on people's computers
451 information
to fight
radio
piracy.
now is current. The
So,
change of the wind is 230 degrees at 21
do not
to
purchase
31
their
knots.
products.
And QNH is now 1008 information Romeo.
No matter how cool a Concorde is.
Copy information, Romeo, just off Oscorn, thank you.
Qantas 259 heavy, did you copy that last?
Hi, firm, I've got the QNH on 259.
Where is
259 next.
YMTL? Oh, okay. So that's in the middle of, what is this island called? Am I that dumb? Tasmania. How did I not know that? Huh. It's in the middle of Tasmania. Let's get a screenshot here real quick. See what kind of angle we can get ourselves into. Maybe something like this. Not much to look at below us. There we go. Absolutely retro livery. We're flying the retro livery. I love this livery. Such a good looking livery. There are other retro livery that they used to have was really good looking too, to be fair. I don't know which one I like the most though. Because there's this one and then there was this one as well, which is also a really cool looking livery. I think they both look great, but the one on the Sim is the current one at the moment. The Retro Rue 2.
5 Romeo Alpha radio check.
One 155 Romeo Alpha.
Station call for radio check, guys. Missed your call sign, service, read your 505.
Oh yeah, that was number 155 Romeo Alpha, thank you.
You boatload of...
Number 155 Romeo Alpha, we're going to be at Mount Gambler, Yankee Mike Tango Golf, requesting a southbound departure from the FBO, cruising altitude of 500 feet. We're going to be in a Robinson R66 helicopter.
Oh, helicopter.
November, I missed your call sign again, sir. Do you plan to be VFR or IFR?
VFR, and we're November 155 Romeo Alpha.
November 155 Romeo Alpha. If you're VFR, you're outside controlled airspace at 500 feet, so no need to contact me.
Oh, okay. Good to know. 155 Romeo Alpha. We'll contact you if we come above 500.
You'll have to go higher than that if you need to contact me.
How high is it?
You've got to be above 9,000 feet.
Okay, we'll contact you if we go above 9,000, which most likely won't happen, but have a good day.
You too, sir. Cheers.
Learning new things every day.
Qantas 1005, unfortunately no further ATC service available. Radar services terminated. Contact Unicom 122 decimal 8 today.
Over to Unicom for Qantas 1005. Oh, maybe we'll catch you here in a bit. We'll see you later.
Cheers.
All right, over to Unicom. The party's over, but if he's still online when we come back, we'll be talking to him again. Plan on visiting Australia next month. Say hi to the kangaroos for me. You know what cracks me up about Australia? So Australia's national animal is the kangaroo. right? Yeah, it's a kangaroo. However, I'll get you guys an outside view while I'm pulling crap up on my screen. I saw this in a Twitch stream and I really like the idea of it. So let me make sure I get it lined up. So you can still see the plane, right? But then I can also pull up something. However, kangaroo hunting is a thing in Australia. So you can go hunt the national animal. For some reason that just cracks me up. I love it. Australia loves its kangaroos so much it sets annual quotas to kill them. Real kangaroo skin. Isn't that something? However, I think the issue is that kangaroos can overpopulate. Let's see, overpopulation. Yeah, population control, it looks like. There's more than twice as many kangaroos as people in Australia. But regardless, it just cracks me up that the national animal is also an animal that they hunt. Do they have a national bird? The emu is the national bird? This is the national bird of Australia? I love that. Good on you, Australia. Good on you. Cousin of yours explained the kangaroo hunting was done to help control the population. That I think that's what I read. But either way, it still cracks me up. Was there an emu war? No way. A nuisance wildlife management military operation. A military operation against emus. That is hilarious. What is up with Australia and killing their national animals? Because I thought I saw earlier there was a kangaroo war too. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. That's hilarious. I love it. Look, here's the thing, right? I like Australia. However, that's not going to stop me from making fun of the fact that you hunt your national animal and you started a war against your national bird. To me, that's still just freaking hilarious. All right, let's talk about the arrival into Hobart. Not quite there yet, but it doesn't hurt to get ready. So if we look at Navigraph, we're going to be taking the Morgo to Victor arrival. So the way this works, we're going to be coming in over the hills and we're going to go visual 3 miles from the airport. And we'll fly in a visual approach and land the plane at Hobart, which should be pretty fun. We can take a, let's see here, what runway are we landing? Runway 30. What are our options? We can take an RNAV. Got the RNAV Whiskey, RNAV Zulu. We could do a VOR DME. Any of those. However, I feel like that kind of ruins the fun. We might actually take this RNAV Whiskey and then fly it visual. So if we look at this, Yeah, the last part of this track 277 visual to Oblin for 3 nautical mile visual final. So I think we'll give that a try. If the weather is willing in Australia, in Hobart. Let's take a peek here. It looks like it's VFR. Check the weather. Scattered 3,000, broken 5,000. QNH is 0,998. Interesting. Let me just double check the VKBsim METAR. And chat, this this METAR command is open to you all too. So if you ever need a METAR or anything like that, feel free. Just seems like on YouTube it takes a little bit to decide to work. But regardless, we're gonna take this visual. That's what it's looking like. So we'll pop down here and get that programmed. Be landing runway 30. Be the Morg 2 Victor. Let me double triple check that. Morg 2 Victor. Execute that. We'll check our legs. It's saying unable at Guleb. I'm not too concerned about that. So this should be fine. Bringing it in this way, bring it around. And we will step through. And make sure everything is golden here real quick. From what you know, the emu war happened because farmers who were veterans of World War I became farmers whose fields got destroyed by emus. Farmers called government who sent troops but lost. I mean, emus still exist, so I'd be kind of surprised if they called that a victory. You know what I mean? All right, let's step through this bad boy and see what's going on here. Yep, that's looking like what we want it to look like. Perfect. So that should work. And then we'll take just a quick peek at the airport here. We got 2,727 meter runway on a, looks like kind of an island or a peninsula there. Should be kind of fun. Yeah, looks like a good time. I'm excited for this. But somebody in chat recommended we flew here, so it's a good time. So I want to show you all here's a screenshot from X-Plane. We're flying the Dash 8. Mentioned earlier at the beginning of the stream, I think I'm going to try to shower in an X-Plane stream next week, probably in the Dash 8, kind of mix it up a little bit. Because as much as we like Microsoft Flight Simulator, it seems just a little stale at the moment. Where it's like 737, A320, 787, A320, A330. So this is something that's a little bit different from the typical Boeing or Airbus that we're seeing all over the place. So I think I might try to shower that in next week. We'll do some Dash 8 flying. We're flying on X-Plane. I have a little bit of time to kind of fine-tune the visuals. This is the first screenshot on the first flight I took on X-Plane 12, and it's not looking great. But I've already done some stuff, and it looks a lot better than this. So I have a little bit of time to try to fine-tune things to get a good visual experience. Namely auto-ortho, which is really nice. Zanzibar War. Is that the one where the freaking town stood up to the British Empire for something like 20 minutes or something? I watched a YouTube video on it. It's hilarious. Yep. Military conflict that lasted between 38 and 45 minutes. Shortest recorded war in history. Wonder how long the YouTube video is on this. Brother. This is the video I watched by Wendigoon. He's really good. It's 23 minutes. I'm looking for a YouTube video that's longer than the actual war. Hey, look, it's me. But no, I watched that video on it and did a little bit of looking at it. It's hilarious. Like one of these boats tried to attack a British cruiser, and the British cruiser sank it, and then they felt bad, so they captured the crew of the other boat. I don't know, little tidbits in history like that I've always been a huge fan of. Just gonna get our altitude turned back here. Start our descent down into Hobart. I think right now we'll stick with 3,000 until we get a little bit closer. We get things set up on our arrival. I gotta remember transition altitude in Australia is 10,000 feet. Flight level 10. 100, I guess. Not 18,000 like I'm used to. So I'm looking at this here when we get to Melbourne, or not Melbourne, Hobart. Looks like we want to try to park up at, is that gate 5? Yeah, 5. Stand 5. So we'll do Commodore Matthew Perry. If he's from that fight, it was a while ago that I watched the video, so I'm gonna have to do a quick Google real quick. All right. What did he do? American naval officer who commanded ships in several wars, including the War of 1812 and the Mexican-American War. He played a leading role in the Perry expedition that ended Japan's isolationism and the Convention of Kanagawa between Japan and the United States. The spark notes of this is the U.S. basically rolled up on Japan and said, you're going to trade with us and you're going to like it. I believe. Fleet of warships to force. I don't know, because nah, I probably don't. I don't know enough about him, but considering he took his warships and just rolled up on Japan and said, hey, you're going to trade with us now. That's not a very cool thing to do. Obviously, I don't know all the details, and I'm not going to sit here and read all this in the middle of the stream. But considering he's that guy, I don't know if I'm a huge fan of him. I'll be honest. Probably not my favorite dude in the world. Acted so European. Well, I mean, you gotta think, we were less than 100 years old as a country. I mean, nowadays it's kind of like a laughingstock of US history that the US tried to be so imperialistic at times. Sometimes the US succeeded, sometimes it did not. But you gotta think, less than 100 years removed from the British Empire, which is still freaking rolling, of course the US is like, we want to go get some of that. So, I don't know. I think in the context of history it makes sense, but looking back with our 2020 vision in the year 2023, man, countries are so freaking wacko crazy in the 1800s. Just like, I'm pretty sure, like, Hawaii, we colonized Hawaii just so the UK wouldn't get it. Like, we rolled up and declared ourselves the victors of Hawaii just so the UK couldn't say they got Hawaii. I mean, we started a war to get Cuba. I say we. Nobody that started any of the imperialistic stuff that happened in the 1800s is alive today. The U.S. started a war with Spain to get Cuba and Puerto Rico. I don't know. It's just some crazy stuff. Then you can think about Britain too. The sun never sets on the British Empire. Just like some wacko crazy shit. It always blows my mind that a small tiny island nation could take over the world. That's just still to this day crazy to me. But I agree, America acting so European. Yep. History went different, either be in two countries, USA and CSA. I'd still be in the United States. Missouri never seceded from the Union. Now, to be fair, I don't know if the Confederates would have rolled up and did some wacko crazy shit. If they weren't so stupid, they would have invaded Washington, D.C. But, yeah. Did Missouri secede from the Union? Missouri did not join the Confederacy. So technically, I'd still be in the United States. But, now history's crazy. I love history. A lot of my historical interest is like, the early 20th century with like World War I, World War II, that kind of stuff. But all throughout history, there's just some crazy shit. And sure, in like 100 years, they're going to look back to where we are right now and be like, God damn, those people were crazy. Alright, we're not switching transition altitude yet. I can probably actually go in here and set transition altitude, transition level to 100. There we go. So it'll stop flashing orange. in your mind. CSA fought the first war, gained independence. See, from my knowledge of the Civil War, I don't think there's any way that the Confederates would be able to have a sustainable country. Number one, it's a stretch that they win, because even if they invade Washington, D.C. and take the capital of the U.S., I don't think they really have legs to stand on to really push hard for a peace deal with the U.S. And even so, at the point that the Civil War was fought, remember the Civil War was fought over slavery. At the point that it was fought, slavery was already starting to become kind of a taboo thing. So, you know, fast forward 40 years, a lot of other countries would probably not want anything to do with the Confederates if they were still practicing slavery, which they would be, because that's why they fought the war. So, I mean, in my mind, it's a stretch that they win, and even if they do, they can't sustain themselves. It's kind of like World War II, and I gotta be careful what I say because YouTube gets kind of stingy about this kind of stuff. But even if Germany wins World War II, I don't think it's sustainable at all. But Germany's kind of different because Germany depended on having an enemy. And, you know, once you take over the world, who's the enemy? You know what I mean? Or you take over Europe or whatever. But even if they somehow could have won, which they couldn't have, but even if they somehow could have won, it wouldn't be sustainable. And in my mind, the South during the Civil War is the same way. If that makes sense. But at the same time, though, I'm not claiming to be like a huge history buff or anything, so take my thoughts with a grain of salt. Jeez, the ground looks so good here. Look at all the colors. Doesn't that look good? And the clouds, got the hills in the background. Ooh-wee! I love the way this looks. Look at that. Look over here, we got a town down there around the lake. Like a rainbow thing going on right here. You can kind of see it on stream. I don't know what that is, but I won't complain about a rainbow. Alright, 10,000. We'll switch to local altimeter, which is 0998. There we go. Brazil ended permanent indenturement in 1881. A lot of people say that the United States is still partaking in slavery, because if you don't know about the United States, the U.S. has a for-profit prison system, meaning the prisons get funding based off of how many prisoners are in prison, and those prisons are run for profit. They're there to make a profit. They're privately owned prisons. So what ends up happening is prisoners are used as a source of labor, and they're not paid, like minimum wage doesn't apply to prisoners. Like they make $2-3 an hour compared to the US minimum wage of $7.25, and a lot of states have a higher minimum wage than $7.25. So a lot of people will say, and it's an argument I see a lot, that the US still partakes in slavery, and I disagree. But the reason I disagree is because I don't think, as we get further and further away from from the 1800s and before, when slavery was a thing in the United States. I don't think we should conflate slavery with something that it's not, if that makes sense. However, on the flip side of that coin, I do want to be clear, prison system in the US really needs to be reformed, like bad. But I think it's a bad idea in the long run to conflate two things that aren't the same thing, if that makes sense. Yeah, I didn't know Brazil ended permanent indenturement. 1881. Learning new things every day. So we're going to need a little bit of speed brakes to slow us down. Let's jump down here to the FMC. We'll grab runway 30. Pop it in here, and we'll put out some range rings, so we can see how far away we are from the airport. So that way we can kind of stay on top of things. And I'll look at our arrival here, the Morgo 2 Victor. Hobart traffic, Qantas 1005's a 737, about 15 miles to the north, descending via the Morgo 2 Victor arrival. Be planning the visual approach runway 30, Hobart traffic. Perfect. We're below 10,000, so we should probably get the landing lights on and get everything set up for our arrival here. We're going to be landing with 4.6.
Just beginning our descent at 37,000 feet.
We have 4.7, so 62.1 is going to be our gross weight.
Happy landing.
We'll get that in. So we're going to be landing flaps 30, 147, so we'll come in at about 152, somewhere around there. About 10 miles out, we're going to go ahead and go speed intervene and slow back to 210 knots. We'll use a little bit of speed brakes to help with that. And let's go ahead and land with auto brakes 2 today. Just because a little bit shorter of a runway. Doesn't hurt to have a little bit extra braking. I'm going to kind of keep SimAware open just so we can make sure that we're staying on top of everything. Let's go ahead and go flaps 5. It's 2. There we go, flaps 5. Keep our speed coming back. I'm going to be using the speed brakes to help. Let's take a peek out the window. Make sure we're visual with the airports. There we go. We're visual with the airport right there. Let's go flaps 10 for some extra drag. Looks like the winds at Hobart are 230 at 1-2, so we'll have a little bit of a crosswind today coming in. Get the speed brakes in. Let's just take a look at our approach here. We're going to be crossing $5,500 where we just crossed. We can pretty much descend down. Sweet, should be good. Should be good. So right before we start this turn, we're going to start getting configured. If we look out the window over here, still perfectly visual with the airport. Everything's looking fine. We can see everything around for the most part. It's not perfect VFR minimums in the US, but it should work just fine. We'll drop our altitude down to about 500 feet. Let's go ahead and drop the gear. Pull our speed back to 152 and get configured for landing. Flaps 15. Flaps 20. And flaps 30. I'll bring up the yoke here. Get the head tracker on. Get my throttles. My airplane. We'll try to fly this visually in. Speed brakes armed. We're just keeping visual with Hobart right over there. This approach is really the reason I wanted to do the head tracker today. I want to start incorporating the head tracker a little bit more, but the visual approach like this. Hobart traffic, Qantas 1005, base, a right base for runway 30. Hobart traffic. Make sure we keep our speed up. Thank you much. Happy landings to you.
I just took off from Hobart, so I had a good landing.
It's good to hear. Cheers.
Cheers.
I thought that was the guy coming in. Alright. We're watching, making sure everything's good. Try to fly a proper base leg here. It's a little bit bigger than Piper Comanche. I think we're doing a good job of staying on top of it. We'll go ahead and swing around. Start our turn inbound. A little bit of power to compensate for the loss of lift on the turn. Want to make sure we don't climb though. So far we're looking fine. Trimming out the plane. We do have a good visual on the airport. Keep our speed where we want it to be. Everything is looking mighty fine. Keep our turn coming in. I don't know what that white box is on the PFD. Apologize about that. Should be rolling out nice and visually on final approach. There we go. How about that? Keep some power on. Try to settle into as good of a 3-degree glide as we can. Things looking fine. Gonna trim out the plane a little bit more. Keep working the trim. 1,000 feet checked, stabilized. Missed approach altitude is not set because we're not missing the approach. I can guarantee you that. We do have that crosswind that's blowing us around, so we need to kind of crab into the wind a little bit. Bringing us back. We're a little bit high. A little bit high. Tad fast, which I'm not worried about being a tad fast. Really high, apparently. 500 feet checked.
400.
I'm fighting that crosswind like crazy.
200.
Call 200 minimum, stabilized. Landing.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
And we're down. Speed brakes deployed. Full reverse. And decel. We're going to use a little bit of manual braking to help here. We're 60 knots. Reverser's coming out. And we'll take it down to the end, turn around, and we'll park it up. Get ready for the next flight back. Gonna go back to Melbourne. And this is the NZA Simulations Orbix. So that should look pretty good once we get parked up over there. Turn around here. Ground physics are grabbing me. Hard to make this turn. It's having to like tap the brake, add a bunch of power. Still barely making the turn.
Hobart traffic, QFA 846, traffic 17,000 feet, descending to 9,000 feet.
Alright, I've got that other traffic, so we'll make sure we don't take our time on the runway. We'll taxi with a little bit of thought behind our taxi. We can go ahead and start cleaning up the plane though. Speed brakes coming in. Bring the flaps up. Yep, they're coming up. Did I do the PMDG update? I did. I updated just before the stream started. Nice landing. Appreciate it. Thank you. Hobart traffic, Qantas 1005, clear of runway 30, taxiing to stand 5. Hobart traffic.
Have a great day. Night.
Alright, we'll park her up over here. And we'll be taking off out of here, flying back to Melbourne. So now that we're off the runway, we can slow down a little bit and get things cleaned up when you get the APU started. So we can get the strobe lights, which were already off. Whoops. Oh, I hate the ground physics. Just deciding to slam the brakes on. See, look at this. Parking brake's not set right now. MSFS needs to fix that. That's the most annoying thing about Microsoft Flight Simulator. Alright, we're looking for 5, which should be this one right here. So we'll get parked up here. I would happily blame PMDG for that stupid ground slamming on the parking brake thing, but a lot of other planes do it in MSFS. You get too slow, they just decide to slam on the parking brakes. Alright, here we go. Parked up. I'm gonna turn off the head tracker. Parking brake on. We got the APU on. We'll put it on the bus. And we'll shut her down. There we go. Get the probe lights off. We'll leave the APU on, since we're going to be just turning the plane around and getting the heck back out of here up to Melbourne. we will have to reload the plane. Well, not reload, like load manager, put things back into the plane. That kind of reload. That was 1 hour and 1 minute, it looked like. You can check Volanta here. I actually ran Volanta this time, so we can get a little flight summary here. We'll review our flight. Taking off out of Melbourne, flew south down to Hobart, and here's our visual approach into Hobart. So, looked pretty good. Our touchdown. See if we can switch this to satellite. We're still in the touchdown markers. A little ahead of the aiming point, but you know, not too bad, not too shabby. You show the rudder settings. You can't get used to the rudder. What are you talking about? Are you talking about in the sim settings or in the PMDG settings? The sim settings I can definitely show you. The PMDG ones, I haven't touched the PMDG settings if they exist. So we had a minus 336. Not too bad. Not too terrible. Give me just a second here and let me get this second flight planned up. We're going to be Qantas 1004 from YMHB to YMML. Let me show you, I'll show you my rudder settings in the sim, like the sim settings. Give me just a second here. Let me generate the return flight. We'll take a little peek around the scenery as well, see what that looks like. And I gotta go use the restroom, so we'll be doing that as well. Okay. We will file that flight plan. Looking good, looking fantastic. Disconnect from VATSIM, reconnect as Qantas 1004 for this flight. That's connected. All right, settings. Let's take a peek. So hopefully this is what you're looking for here. If I go into my MFG Crosswinds, I have rudder pedals that I use. And then if we go to sensitivity, I have a curve on my rudder pedals. See there when they're centered, and then it's smaller movements towards the middle, and it gets bigger movements the further out I go. And that's on each side, if that makes sense. And that kind of helps get rid of some of the finickiness of the rudder. So it's minus 45 on the negative and positive sensitivity. And I'll pop that in the chat. Oh, you saw it? I'll put it in the chat just in case. There you go. But that's what I have. That's how I tune my rudder. You can probably see here in the sim, the further out I go, the faster it gets. So that way, when you're just making small adjustments, you can make them a lot more finer. I use the same thing in DCS when I used to do DCS. But cool. Welcome to Hobart. I need to go use the restroom, so let me do GSX here. and let's request some boarding. Maybe. Give you guys something to look at while I'm away for a second. Use the bathroom, go get some coffee. I think I have a couple more things I need to click before it's fully ready, but we good to go, GSX? Are we rocking and rolling? The second I walk away, it's going to be like, oh, passenger bus is coming. Okay, we're good. Cool. So give me just a few minutes. I will be right back. I'm going to go use the restroom, get up and stretch my legs. Maybe make another cup of coffee. That is not the button for that. All right, I will be right back. Give me just a few minutes. I'll catch you here in just a bit. All right, just kidding. I decided against another cup of coffee. That way I can fall asleep tonight when the stream's over. Well, we're gonna fly back to Melbourne now, so let me get flight data and all that crap reset. Hopefully, the more I do this in time, I'll be a lot quicker at it. Qantas 1004. We're going to be arriving at Melbourne, YMML. Be departing from YMHB, Hobart. That should be good there. Let me get Fly Live updated really quick. YMHB. Let me type the right thing. YMML. Boom.
Hobart traffic, QFA 846, runway 112 is traffic.
Sweet. Is this other person on final? Thought I saw them out there. Can't tell if I did. We'll look at the map. We might try to watch them land. They're coming in.
Hobart traffic, QFA 843, runway 112, short final.
We'll watch them land. Here he comes. A little bouncy, a little bouncy. Oh, he's got it. It's as long as you don't crash. That's the important part, right? Sweet. There we go. Let's get this thing set up for the next flight, shall we? Got a little bit of rain here moving in. They're flying back. Thought it was over. No, no, we're flying back.
Hobart traffic, XL6, taxiing ticket.
I just got to get the plane loaded back up with our next flight, and then we'll be ready to roll. We're gonna take these people back to Melbourne. Alrighty. Get our fuel plugged in. 7,000 pounds of fuel on the dot. Payload is 57.3. That should work that. Then we come over here to our inits. So we'll go routes, YMHB to YMML. We are Qantas QFA 1004. And let's take a look at the METAR and see what the winds are favoring. I think it's still going to be runway 30, but we'll double check and make sure. I'd be surprised if the winds have changed that much since we landed, you know what I mean? $250 at 9. Yeah, we'll take off runway 30. Perfect. Get our route plugged in. LATAM. Then we'll be taking the H111 airway to LT. H215 to Warren, and that's where we'll pick up the arrival. Not in the US or Canada, so we will not put in the arrival yet. They'll assign us an arrival when we contact them. And since ATC is on, we'll expect to be assigned an arrival. LATAM 2 departure, LATAM 2 departure, rather. That should be good. So we got that in there. We'll go ahead and get our stuff plugged in. Our reserves are going to be 1,000 kilos yet again. Cost index of... Let's take 40 again. It's going to give us a cruising altitude of 340. Cruise winds are 210 at 42. That should be good. We'll execute that. Toga for takeoff again. Flaps 5. Get our CG in there. 146, 156, 161 is our V2 plus 15. So we'll get that. Let's take a look at our departure here. We'll go to the LATAM. I cannot say that for the life of me. LATAM 2 departure. Be climbing via SID. Looks like no top altitude. So want to make sure we look for top altitudes, especially on VATSIM in case ATC comes on. So that should be good. So we'll go ahead and put in our cruise altitude of 34,000 feet. Good lord. Perfect. Then our heading for departure, we'll be taking off runway heading, which is 300. So we'll make sure we get that plugged in as well. Very important. And then in the chat, I'm going to pop a METAR again for Hobart. Just so we can make sure we get the VKBsim METAR. We are pretty much looking good to go. We'll come down here. Squawk code, we're going to leave just like it is for now. QNH is 0999, so we'll adjust that. 0999, that looks good. Cruising altitude, all that's good. We'll go LNAV, VNAV. Get those armed. Our APU is already started, so that should be good. Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for pushback. GSX is still boarding, so we are going to reset position. And then we will... Missing label. The hell does that mean? Prepare for pushback and departure. We use Swissport International. Let's get this thing rolling. I appreciate you guys hanging out. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Steadily growing. I got that 100 subscriber special coming on Monday, the little flight sim setup tour, if that's something you're interested in. And if you're enjoying the stream, don't forget to leave a like. It really helps out. I appreciate you all hanging out. It's always a good time. Always a good time. There's that other Qantas right next to us.
Departure checks completed. Wi-Fi's been inserted.
Also, if you're interested, I'm going to do a live stream on Twitch tomorrow. It'll be X-Plane 11, probably going to fly the 757. I said X-Plane 11, I meant X-Plane 12. 757, probably going to aim to be live around noon US Central Time. Might do one flight, maybe 2 flights, but I'm going to do that before I go on my trip tomorrow, so that should be fun. If you're interested in that, it's twitch.tv/KeeganToga. You can find that in the description as well. I stream over there as well as every Thursday here on YouTube. All right, we're gonna go nose left, tail right.
Release parking brakes, please.
Hobart traffic, Qantas 1004 is at 737, stand 5, pushing back, facing south. Hobart traffic. All right. Parking brake released.
Commencing push. All engines clear.
Get our packs off. We need to adjust our cruise altitude. And we can start the right engine. Might help if we have our engine panel up so we can see what's going on down there. The other Qantas is still hanging out, deboarding this plane. Four and 5. Introduce some fuel. I'm gonna go back to the legs page on this side so we can see our legs, where we're going, where we're coming from. And we'll start the block timer as well. Man, this is a good looking livery, especially when the light hits it like this. It's looking great. Kind of vintage livery. I love the retro and vintage liveries. Right engine started. We'll get the left one going. Looking for 25% into. Rolling up. Then we'll introduce that fuel.
Please set parking brakes.
25%. Pump some fuel into the plane. She's roaring to life. We'll set the parking brake.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
This Orbic scenery is looking pretty good. Found out earlier today that... Chat, you didn't tell me that the Be Right Back was still on the screen. Are you all rude or something? What the hell? I apologize about that. I did not notice. I found out today that Just Flight's making the Fokker 70 and the 100, and that's the one that has the RNAV, and that's the one that Qantas actually operates with Qantas Link. So when that comes out, hopefully it's pretty timely. We'll be back to Hobart. We'll be back to Australia for sure. We might even be back before then. All right, our engines are started. Flaps 1, 2, and 5. Hydraulics coming on, probe heat coming on, packs coming on. Isolation valve to auto. We'll get the engines on the bus, turn off the APU. Should have had the rotating beacon on, but did not. That should be good. We'll wait for GSX to clear. Our auto brake is RTO. Everything is looking mighty fine. Even do a little flight control check to make sure everything is golden. Looking fine to me. And the gear pins are out, so we are good to go. Parking brake released. Let's get rolling. Get some power on this bird. We're gonna have to back taxi runway 30. Should be fine. Not an issue at all. Hobart traffic, Qantas 1004, backtracking runway 30 for departure. Hobart traffic. Oh, just kidding, we're not at the runway yet. Shouldn't have made that call yet. Alright, coming up on the runway, we'll make sure our TCAS is TARA, which is what we want to see. There goes MSFS slamming on the brakes. We'll make sure we get some lights on. Before we enter the runway. We'll also want to check nothing on the departure that I can see. Nothing on the arrival that I can see, so we should be cleared to go on to the runway. And we're on the runway, we'll go ahead and arm the auto throttle so we can turn around at the end and jet out of here. Our taxi with a little bit of oomph, so we don't want to hang out on the runway, especially in uncontrolled airspace on VKBsim. That is not a fun thing to do. Just double check, it's only me and this other guy down here at this airport, so we should be okay to depart. Slow down here at the end. We'll take all the distance we can get to make this turn. Hobart traffic, Qantas 1004 taking off runway 30 straight out. Hobart traffic. Alrighty. Generally lined up here, we got 45% on the throttles. Let's go ahead and toga. Toga power set. Airspeed's alive.
80 knots.
Cross checked. There's 100 knots.
Rotate.
Pulling back. Turn the plane into the wind just a little bit. Gear coming up. Gonna fly the flight director as best we can here. Let's go flaps 1. Flaps 1 set. Hobart traffic, Qantas 1004, clear of runway 30, climbing through 2,500. Hobart. And flaps up, coming in. And I'm just kind of hand flying it at the moment. Adjusting our trim. Everything's coming in nicely. Take a peek around. Look out for any kind of traffic that we might come across. Flying into the rain now. And let's go ahead and go autopilot's enabled. There we go. Autopilot's on. Track IR is off. And we are out of here. Get the plane cleaned up. I forgot to turn on the landing lights. Whatever. Who needs them? Gear lever 2 off. Everything's looking mighty fine down here. Our TCAS is working. We are out of here. Breaking out of the clouds. There we go. Look at that view. Tasmania. I love that. Oh, this side's even better. Look at that. Got the river down there. It's either a river or a lake, one of the two. Kind of looks like a lake to me. Ain't that looking nice? Looks like we got a football pitch down there. I love it. Should be leveling off at about... accelerating at about 10,000. We'll get the landing lights off, switch over to standard. And we are out of here. Jetting out of here. We're making a right turn. We'll go ahead and clear that turn, make sure there's no traffic over there, and we don't see any. We also have TCAS that'll keep an eye out for us. We're flying into a 20-ish knot headwind at the moment. It's gonna make this leg a little bit longer than the last one, but it shouldn't be too bad. I'm not too worried. Oh, brother. Why do I open up Discord and then immediately close it when I actually end up wanting to use it? Habla. So this is the Discord channel. I made a post today. I haven't posted the link to the Discord on YouTube yet because I still need to work on it and get it functional. But you know, things like I need to get the Mi6 bot going for rolls and stuff like that. I need to get it linked up with Twitter, with Twitch and YouTube. So eventually, if we do reach the level where we can do memberships on YouTube, y'all get a special room for it. I just need to do some housekeeping. Get the Discord set up because I know a few people were asking about the Discord. What if I can disable streamer mode and get this set up here? If I can get YouTube connected, if it'll show that I'm live on YouTube, that would be really nice. I believe it's this one. Correct? Maybe it's not this one. Hold on a second. Oh, brother. I hate that YouTube does not specify which channel you're linking up to your Discord server. Kind of annoys me. Okay, now it's linked up. Okay, perfect. The YouTube is linked. Awesome. I'm just gonna take a peek here. We'll let you in on the back door of trying to set up a Discord server. Arthur, how's it going? Dude, the arrival into Hobart was super cool. We did it visually, did a circle, kind of circle around and visually landed on runway 30. That was fun. That was real fun. Okay, I want Mi6 to have all those permissions. I agree. Hopefully I'm not doxing myself. Have to watch the replay? You should. It's pretty good. But now we are on our way back to Melbourne, just climbing out, and it looks like Melbourne Center is still online, so we should get to talk to him again. I can embarrass myself with not knowing what I'm doing again. But we are flying this beautiful retro Qantas livery. It's an absolute beauty. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do the same thing I did the last flight. Except we're going to go this side, since we're flying the other way. Have to watch the replay, glad you didn't miss it. No, no worries. I know you said you had school going on and stuff. So obviously real life takes priority. Always. So if I shove it off in the corner like that, and then I'll do that, and then I can bring this back over here. You can see the plane and what we're doing. So what we're kind of doing is I'm letting you guys in on trying to set up the Discord server, and if you guys have any feedback with things that you want to see in the Discord server, because ultimately I'd be building a Discord server for the community, not just for myself, right? Let me know. But I'm not very good at Discord, so it's like server management. I don't fucking know what the thing is. Reaction rules. Is this what I want? This is the thing where you click on the thing. Perfect. Rules. You'll get a verified role. You click that, you get verified. Reaction mode, default, message. Let's try this. Below, be able to fully engage and participate in all our events and activities. Add a new field. Please read the rules and click the emoji below. Once verified, you'll be able, okay, that's fine. Rules. 1. Follow the golden rule. Treat others how you would want to be treated. 2. No isms. This includes racism, sexism. I don't know what the other isms are off the top of my head. I have a Melbourne tower on now. That could be fun. There's a lot of traffic at Melbourne. Okay, the isms are taken care of. What are the rules? What are more important rules that you want in a Discord channel? No spamming. Very important. No discussion of illegal piracy. This will also get you banned. Buy the product and support the developers. Terrell, how's it going? Welcome out, welcome out. You're joining us en route from Melbourne to, or just kidding, from Hobart to Melbourne, and I'm doing a little bit of Discord messing around as well, giving a little sneak peek at the insides of setting up a Discord server. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing, but I hope you're doing well. What's up from Alaska? Man, I would love to go visit Alaska. Let me ask you this. What's the temperature where you're at? About to make me super jealous of you if you answer what the temperature is. Man, I just keep looking over at this livery. It is such a good looking livery. Good lord. Qantas hit this one out of the park, and it looks so good on a 737 considering it was originally on a 707. I love the way it looks. $57 degrees. Oh man, I wish. So I live in Missouri, and the high today was let's see, 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Tomorrow, or just kidding, the high this coming day, Friday, is 85. Saturday, it's going to be 99. Sunday, it's going to be 101 degrees. They also redid the inside of that plane with seats and cabin styling in the same area. I've never flown out, but it looks so cool. We're going to have to look. I have to look that up here in a second. Wintertime, it gets... I can't do that cold. When it gets into the negatives, I can't deal with that. But the intense heat that we're having right now, like this heat wave, like, I like summer, right? I'm a go sit by the pool, drink a alcoholic beverage, have a good time summer person. However, when it gets to like 100 degrees out, it's kind of like, ugh. And especially since in our area it gets humid when it gets that hot, it's just horrible. Arguing to a minimum. We're all passionate. If I could learn how to spell. No politics. Been to Vegas and it was 105. See, Vegas is different. And you might be like, oh, what do you mean it's different? Well, I stand by this. I'm very passionate about this point. 105 in Missouri is way worse than 105 in Vegas or Arizona or California, because it's a dry heat in Vegas, Arizona, California, whereas here it's humid as heck. So like on Sunday, when it's going to be 101 degrees, the feels like is going to drag it up to what looks like about 110. And the humidity is going to be at 73%. So it's going to be hot, it's going to be muggy, you're going to feel like you're walking through boiling water every time you go outside. But that being said, though, 105 is hot no matter what. "93 degrees in Hobart in the summer. It's the farthest south in Australia. It gets 40. Damn. But Australia is... Like, Australia is known for being hot, right? Like, I mean, you have the Outback. I'm gonna go to one of my buddies' Discord and steal his rules. Not that buddy. He doesn't have any rules. Alright, what are the rules? Have respect, have fun, no spamming for 1v1s, no self-promotion. I should probably add that. Please keep self-promotion to the self-promotion channel. Now hit that check mark and get in the server. Dadgummit. Okay, the verified is going to be the green check. I'll have to hit the green check to get verified. Perfect. Publish. That's not all the time. I figure it wouldn't be all the time, but either way, that's still hot. I should probably set an ETA, shouldn't I? ETA is going to be 6:03 Zulu, so we'll put 6:10 Zulu. We'll add a little bit of time just in case. So let me get that popped in for y'all. There you go. Got an ETA there for you. Alright, let me do this permission thing real quick and then we'll jump back in the plane. Make sure everything's going well. Alright, server settings. Okay, roles. Open default permissions. Change view channel to off. Select the verified role. Change it to on. Save. Then edit channel. Select permissions. Enable view channel. Disable send messages. Save. So now I gotta go through and add verified to everybody. It's already in here. All right, that's all I'm doing for that right now. Let's jump back inside. I'm flying 737 on VNAV. You set the altitude thing to your final descent as soon as you get to cruise. That bad? Absolutely not. The only reason I don't is because I fly on VATSIM. Therefore, usually on VATSIM, they're going to clear you for a descent. So they'll give you an altitude to descend to, whether that's descend via the SID or via the star. Or they'll tell you pilot's discretion down to 10,000 or something like that. So that's the only reason I don't do it. But when I'm flying offline or whatever, I'm, you know, starting up a flight, I'm going to go work on something while I'm flying, I'll usually, when I get up to cruise, I'll go ahead and turn it down to the final approach fix. So I do that whenever I'm, especially if I'm distracted while I'm flying, you know? There is a contact me. 134.325. I knew it was coming. All right, who are we contacting? Melbourne Center. What's the information we have? We have information uniform. ILS approach runway 27. Got the winds, everything. QNH 1009. We got uniform. Perfect. And we are about 10 miles south of Flicky. So let's give Melbourne Center a call and see what's going on. Melbourne Center, hello again. Qantas 1004 is flight level 340, about 10 miles to the south of Flicky.
Qantas 1004, good afternoon. Melbourne Centre Squawk 4442.
4442, and we have information uniform for Melbourne for 1004.
1004.
4442, and we'll hit him with the ident.
Qantas 1004 identified. Maintain flight level 340.
Maintain 340, 10 Qantas 1004. Start spatting off words. I tell you what, I'm tired. Often do something else during cruise. Hey, I don't blame you. That's usually what I do. All right. Quickly adding this role to everybody. Right quick. In Discord, and then I need to go delete the old role, which is the
Jetstar 511, start clearance level.
Jetstar 511, go ahead.
Jetstar 511, you've cleared the RB7 Alpha rifle, runway 27, when ready, descend to flight level 210.
It should be the Warren 8 Alpha.
Arrival 427, when ready down to 210, Jetstar 511.
I'm just gonna get ready for this arrival. It's something that's different than I'm used to, that will clear you for an arrival when you're coming up on it. So as we get closer here, we're probably gonna get cleared for the Warren 8 arrival. So we'll have to read that back, just like you just heard over the frequency. What's squawk code for? Need to do it when you're not on VATSIM? No, you do not. Also, what's the transponder is the same. Okay, so let me try to explain this the best I can. Keep in mind I'm not a pilot and I don't know the technical ins and outs. But, actually, here's a good way to show this.
Jetstar 560, contact me now, 134.325.
So if you look at this map here, you can see all these different planes here. So the transponder code that the controller gives you For me, it was 4442. Every single one of these planes has a different code.
300 cancel speed.
And what that code does is it allows the air traffic controller to see all your data about your airplane. So altitude, heading, speed, all that. And no two planes have the same code. So what the transponder code is for, and transponder and squawk are the same thing. What the transponder code is for is just to get that data to the air traffic controller. Now, the TARA, what that does is that's transmit and receive. So we can't see any right now, but when you switch it to TARA, it'll show traffic that's around you. And it also comes into play with traffic collision warnings. So I don't know if you've ever seen in a stream, I don't think I've ever had one, but when two planes are getting close to each other, the TCAS, which is what your transponder is, or helps with, it'll tell you traffic, climb, descend, traffic, that kind of stuff. So it also helps with traffic alerts. The TCAS stands for Traffic Collision Avoidance System. I hope that kind of explains it a little bit. And you got to keep in mind, I'm not like into the technical ins and outs of how it works. So what in the butt just happened? And Melbourne Center, Qantas 1004 coming up on top of drop.
Qantas 1004, you cleared the Warren 8 Alpha arrival, runway 27, wind ready to descend to flight level 210.
Cleared the Warren 8 Alpha arrival, runway 27, and descend 210 for Qantas 1004.
1004, and top of drop is the first time I've ever heard that.
A lot of people over in the US on VATSIM will say that. I don't know, it's just kind of stuck with me.
1004, I remember that when I'm over in the US.
Alright, let's get this arrival plugged in. I don't know, top of drop?
Well, Melbourne Centre, Sierra Papa Yankees at top of descent. Request traffic descent to 5,500.
Alright, we'll expect the ILS.
Descent 5,500.
Let's just plug in an ILS. We can change that here in a little bit. We'll get the arrival plugged in.
Left 7 for 5.5.
Got that. We're going to descend to flight level 210. So we'll get that plugged in. And then once we cross that top of descent, I think realistically, I don't know if it's a US thing per se. I think one time I heard somebody say top of drop, and now I say top of drop every time. Okay. So let's see what ILS we're going to plan. Is that in the ATIS? Expect ILS approach. Okay, it just says ILS approach. Okay, so let's take a peek here. In Navigraph, let's see which ILS makes the most sense. So it looks like ILS Yankee from Visas. Looks like they're both the same for all practicality. And it looks like our vertical profile has kind of broken.
I see 848 by the start descend to 4,000.
Fire star 4,000, velocity 848.
So what we should be able to do is if we go alt intervene, This will start to drop us down. We can add some power. Oh, here it comes. Here comes the vertical profile. Okay, that's what we want to see. That's what's up. Perfect. So we're in the descent now, down to 210. Perfect.
Sorry, station was taken.
Centre November Echo Romeo with you 430.
November Echo Romeo, stand by.
You use descent now in the FMC.
Echo Romeo,
So
maintain flight level 430.
Maintain 430 November Echo Romeo.
it is... Sorry, 1 second. It is different. So when you do descend now, it starts your descent now.
4 descend to 9000 Melbourne QNH 1009.
Down to 9,000 and QNH 1009er for Qantas 1004. Keep that descent going down 9,000. Should be golden. And then we can preset our QNH 1009 is in there. Perfect. So when you do descend now, it starts the descent now. It's be pretty similar if you're doing it at your top of descent, but if you set a lower altitude into your altitude selection in the MCP and you have VNAV enabled, when you hit that top of descent, it'll start descending. And it'll capture this vertical profile and stay in this bar, which is what it's doing right there. So that's the way I learned to do it. I'm sure either way is fine, but that's just the way I learned to do it, so that's the way I do it. I know people that don't use VNAV, they just control it with vertical speed all the way down. So it's really personal preference what you want to do, you know? Alright, so let's go ahead and start getting things set up for the ILS.
Just 539, contact Melbourne Centre on 129 to Smite. 129 is
So we coming in ILS 109.3 and 263 is what we need to plug in. 109.3 and 263 in our course.
Just 775, good day Melbourne Centre, you're cleared to Melbourne via Bendo planned route.
So our ILS is plugged in.
Runway 23, Bendo.
Look at our minimums here, 610 feet, so we can get that plugged in as well. Have to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll.
775, and you've got a lot of background noise, sir. Aussie 848 by the start, descend to 2,500, you're cleared the ILS.
So we got the minimums plugged in, so that should be good.
Start descent 2,500, cleared ILS from a 27, velocity 848, and just for any following traffic, moderate turbulence from 160 down to 8,000.
848 noted. On to 1037 for separation, turn left heading 300.
And then next we should be talking to Melbourne Tower 120.5, so we'll get that ready to go.
On to 1037 centre.
On to 1037.
1037, unless you want to crash, you better turn left heading 300.
Left 300, on to 1037.
Unless you want to crash. I like this controller. Can I give this guy a review?
Wind change there and just bumped the altitude up a bit, just returning to flight on the 390.
ATC feedback, helpdesk.vatpack.org. He gets a good review.
Melbourne Centre, Mike Sierra November Echo Romeo, just wondering what the winds are at Essendon.
And then back around now, stand by.
Oh. It's a ticket. I don't want to open a new ticket just to say I like a guy. I won't do that. I won't do that. Because somebody probably has to manually go through those tickets.
Descent to 9000 Melbourne QNH 1009.
Center 9000 QNH 1009, just 511.
Alright, let's put in our fix here. Got 5, 10. What?
And then back around now,
Oh,
the
whoops.
winds at Essendon are 210 degrees at 15 knots.
Perfect.
Thank you for that.
Then we have our range rings in so we can kind of see how far away we are at a glance. Should be perfect. Should be a good approach. Now it's just a matter of staying on top of everything, staying on top of our speed and our altitude.
Once at 1037, resume on navigation, track direct to Mildura.
We'll check our approach. We're not taking the RNAV. Oh, it's the RNAV arrival.
Velocity 848 established.
Velocity 848, contact tower now 120.5, g'day.
1205, velocity 848, g'day.
Melbourne Centre, Mike Sierra November Echo Romeo, we have had a cabin depressurization. We need to requesting to land nearest airport.
2.
And then back Romeo, and we're just stand by. Canberra's to your north, sir, so I can give you, when ready, descend to flight level 210, expect radar vectors for Canberra.
210, I expect radar vectors, thank you. November Echo Romeo.
I love it. We got an emergency too.
Just 8996, dark minutes available.
Go ahead, just 8996.
Alright, I'm just looking at speed restrictions on our arrival.
27 wind ready, descend
At
flight level
Mitcham.
210.
Coming up, we'll have 230,
RB7 Alpha, arrival runway
and then at
ready,
Visas,
210,
we'll have
158.
158 as our max speed. So we'll have to keep that in mind as we get a little bit closer. It's saying we need to switch over to standard. I'm not going to do that because we are
Papa November, India request traffic for the King Island RMP approach.
in America. Dad, or we're not in America. Dadgummit.
Sorry, station calling, say again your call sign.
Papa November, India.
Papa November, India, roger, no reported traffic.
Papa
Is it going to request the winds? Is that possible? I always try this and it never works. I'm going to try it.
Qantas 1004 via the star, descent to 5000.
Down to 5,000 via the star for Qantas 1004. Did he say 5,000 or 4,000?
Just 3996, leaving flight level 390.
I'm going to stick with 5,000.
8996.
Did anybody catch that? My brain went blank. Oh, load the winds. Did it get the winds?
Just 770.
Ah, data control.
Push approved.
5,000. Sweet. Thank you, Arthur. I promise eventually I'll pay attention.
Yankees established on the RNP runway 29 at Orange.
Alright. 4.3. Right now we have 4.5, so we need to lose 0.2, so 61.6 for our gross weight at Melbourne.
Say at the moment, I'll report on the ground.
Oh, 0 Papa Yankee, roger that.
That should be good. Flaps 30, 144, which is going to give us 149 via approach. And should be good. Sweet. Awesome.
November Echo Romeo, descent to 9000, standby for Canberra, QNH.
Descend 9000, November Echo Romeo.
We're looking good. It's so awesome having ATC. I never get ATC this late at night. I need to fly in Australia more, apparently. Because over in the US, well, I guess LA Center is on. Usually LA or Oakland Center are on in the US this late.
November Romeo, Cambridge QNH 1004.
This is kind of fun.
1004 November Echo Romeo.
Learning something new. It's a good time. It's not night there, it's like 3:30. Yeah. I love it. Y'all have Melbourne Center and Brisbane Center on. That's awesome. I might need to do some more Australia flying. And catch some ATC, catch a little more ATC. Since I stream at this time anyway, you know what I mean?
Left 1, there November Romeo.
Melbourne Centre, g'day, Airbus 24 radio check.
Brisbane has an amazing descent with the Great Barrier Reef beneath you as you descend. We're gonna have to try it sometime.
Ambulance 24, read you 515.
It might be a little bit because I don't want to.
Airbus 24, Towers online, sir. Can you contact him on 120.5?
I don't want to bleed Australia dry on the stream, if you know what I mean. I want to kind of keep some variety, but don't let me forget. We'll have to do Brisbane sometime.
Just 511 via the star, descend to 5,000.
Let's go ahead and switch over to local.
The star down to 5,000, just 511.
1009. We should be getting a decel before too long.
Just 8996, descend to 9,000, QNH 1009.
Max 230 at war. Just kidding. The next waypoint is a max 230. So you see it's starting to drag our speed back and start slowing down.
899060, copy.
We'll get some landing lights on.
8996 via the start, or correction, descend to 9,000. Melbourne QNH 1009.
Descend to 9,000, 1009, just 8996.
November Echo Romeo, turn left heading 080.
Left 080 November Echo Romeo.
I love how patient this guy is too. Like, usually, so the most ATC I deal with is usually in the US, and sometimes they can get kind of rude.
1037, go ahead.
This guy's super chill. I like him.
On the 1037 request, direct to Mildura Echo Charlie for the RMP 27.
On to 1037, stand by, right?
I need to start making a list of some controllers I like. This guy I really like. He's super chill. Even when people don't hear him,
On to 1037,
he's staying super chill. I forgot the clock.
150.
You're right. I'll get you a flight time from Volanta.
1037.
Volanta will be able to provide.
4 by the start, descend to 4,000.
4,000 by the star for Qantas 1004. Down to 4,000, and of course we have speed restrictions coming up, so we need to keep those in mind. Next speed restriction is 230 at Mitcham, so we need to watch out for that.
Just 511, just advise you indicate airspeed.
250 knots, just 511.
Just 511, reduce to 230 knots.
Okay, we'll slow down to 230, just 511.
Got some traffic around in Melbourne. I love it. I love VKBsim. I need to make... If we get to the point someday where we have channel memberships, I'm making a I love VKBsim emote.
Destination 75, taxi to landing point Bravo 2, runway 23.
And just look how good the ground textures look. You see all the buildings and everything?
November Echo Romeo, turn left heading 040.
Left 040 November Echo Romeo.
All right, you ready for the quickest pause ever? General options. Developer.
And November Echo Romeo, there's no cloud detected at Canberra. You can expect
Got the replay tool on.
approach to runway 30.
We're gonna try a replay.
Yeah, the visual.
I don't know if it'll work well, but we'll try it. Because I do want to get a good view of all the scenery and everything around the ground and all that. Coming up on Mitcham, we want to slow down to 230.
November Echo Romeo, turn left heading 020.
Left 020 November Echo Romeo.
Does the livery have a cabin? It does. So figured out the replay is not exactly the way I'd say it, Arthur. The replay is real buggy. I'm hoping it works. So we're gonna try it, but I'm...
Qantas 1004, 5-star descent to 2,500. You cleared the ILS approach runway 27, report established.
By the star down to 2,500, cleared the ILS approach runway 27, and we'll call you when we're established for Qantas 1004.
Jetstar 511 via the star, descent to 4,000.
Let's go take a peek at this cabin.
Via the star 4000, Jetstar 511.
So I don't know how much we'll be able to see.
Jetstar 775, contact me airborne runway.
We got some tablets in here, and this is what the seats look like. It's nothing fancy, but it is a nice touch nonetheless of this livery. Got first class up here. These look like some comfy seats. They don't usually put a whole lot of work into the cabin, which is fair because, you know, the important stuff is the livery itself and up here, you know.
Yep, roger.
Alright, we passed Mitcham. Our next speed restriction is visas, and we are cleared for the ILS 27 approach.
And November Echo Romeo, descent to 6,000.
So I'm just writing that down so I remember that we're cleared for the approach. Oh, here's when you were asking about squawk codes and TARA. You see this diamond right here? That's another airplane. And the reason I can see that is because my transponder is in TARA. And they can see me on their screen as well. So if I go down here and just put this to transponder mode, he disappears.
Normal speed.
Put it back to TARA, and he shows back up. So that's how that works. Alright, speed brake's coming out. We'll go flaps 1, flaps 2, and flaps 5. Should help us slow down quite a bit here. Speed's coming back.
Turn left heading 360.
We're gonna park at Charlie 6. So make sure when we come in, we know where we're parking. So we want to exit to the left. We'll use auto brake 2 again. Should work fine. We're getting slowed down. Let's go ahead and arm the approach. There we go. Picking up the approach. It's got the glide slope and the VOR localizer captured. Let's go flaps 10. Help us bleed some more speed. Bring the speed brakes up. And arm the speed brakes.
All stations, Mill 0 bombs at 1037, left flight level 300. Estimating circuit time Mill 0 at 30.
Melbourne Center, Qantas 1004 established, ILS 27.
25 Qantas 1004, contact tower now 120.5, g'day.
Tower on 120.5. We'll catch you next time, Qantas 1004.
1004, brake, just 5.
Alright, we're coming up on 5 miles. Let's go ahead and drop the gear. Get ready here. Melbourne Tower, good day. Qantas 1004 established, ILS runway 27.
Qantas 1004, this is Melbourne Tower, good day, runway 27, clear to land.
Cleared to land, runway 27, Qantas 1004. Alright, we're good. Cleared to land. Flaps 15 coming in. Let's go ahead and give it my airplane. My throttles anyway. Get our landing lights on, prove we're cleared to land. Just kind of my personal self-check.
Airbus 24 ready for push and start.
Flaps 30 coming in.
Airbus 24 tower, push
Our V approach is going to be 149. Let's get sat up. I'll get the head tracker on. My airplane. Let's do this thing. Flying the ILS.
Airbus 24, pushback approved.
Pushback approved, Airbus 24.
Important thing about an ILS is to stay on the ILS, even though we're visual. We're cleared for the ILS approach, so we want to make sure we're following the ILS approach, if that makes sense. Got a little bit of a cross. Well, we got actually a pretty good crosswind at 20 knots. So we should be crabbing as we get a little bit closer. We're doing a pretty decent job following the ILS here. We got 1,000 feet stabilized, missed approach altitude set, missed approach altitude is 2,500 feet. At least for our purposes it is, because we're not going around. We never go around. Except for the one time last stream we did go around. That was a rare occurrence. Oh shoot, I forgot to... Okay, replay's recording.
500.
Should be able to give this a try. Little replay tool. Speed's looking good, altitude's looking good. I'm going fully visual now. Focusing straight ahead, watching our speed.
300. Approaching minimums.
Coming up on minimums.
Light slope. Minimums.
Continue.
120 radio check.
Just 520, Melbourne Tower, radio check, region 5.
Thank you, just 120.
30. 20. 10.
Oh, that was a float. Dadgummit. Full reverse.
Melbourne Tower, good day, just 511, 5.5 out for
And we'll use some manual braking.
Just 511, this is Melbourne Tower, good day, runway 27, continue approach.
Continue approach, 511.
We'll make sure we can get off the runway as quick as we can here. Keep our speed up. Auto brakes are disabled. We want to get off the runway real quick. Speed brakes coming in. Flaps coming up. We're clearing off on mic. Got my pen in hand. We'll get off the runway here. Melbourne Tower, Qantas 1004, vacated 27 on mic. Looking to go to stand Charlie 6 today.
Qantas 1004, roger, taxi via Echo, cross runway 16, and then via Papa.
Taxi via Echo, cross runway 16, and then taxi via Papa for 1004. Thanks.
Just 511.
Alright, let's get this thing cleaned up a little bit.
27, just 511.
So to make sure I got off the runway so he could get his landing clearance and get in.
Station to Sydney, say again, call sign.
Speed brakes in, flaps up.
Just 520.
Just 520, roger, you're cleared to Sydney.
I'm gonna turn off that. We're cleared to cross runway 16. Bit firm, but good.
Just off 20, looks like you cut out there.
Jetstar 520, you're cleared to Sydney via Docel planned route, runway 27.
I'll take firm but good. 50 over the threshold is always what I aim for. We had that crosswind we were fighting, and then floating it didn't help either. That's all right.
Cleared to Sydney via Docel flight planned route, runway 27, Docel 1 departure.
Could be worse.
5000, squawk 4704, just off 520.
Jetstar 520.
Alright, TCAS off. Just checking in VATSIM that we're still mode C. Should be good here. Let's go into GSX and get stand C6. We'll park it back up where we started today. Should be fine. Should be fun. Our APU is on, so we'll get the APU on the bus. We'll go ahead and shut down engine number 1. We'll do a single engine taxi. We're cleared to cross runway 16. We want to double check nothing's coming in on either threshold, and we are good. And we are cleared to cross. On the Discord, you should definitely have a screenshot section. 100%. We will have a screenshot section. 100,000%.
Just 511.
Strobe on while we're crossing.
Just 511, what bay?
And strobe off.
We're going to Golf 46 if available, just 511.
Just 511, roger. Taxi by Echo, cross runway 16, then take taxiway right Victor, and then Yankee.
Echo, cross 16, Victor, then Yankee for Jetstar 511. Cheers.
Is that Jetstar behind us? There's some other jets here. We got an Airbus. We have another Qantas 737 over there. I love that. I tell you what, VATSIM is fun when it's popping. It's always a good time. And we should have that replay recording, so we should be able to watch a replay, hopefully, fingers crossed. We're watching for taxiway Papa, as they say in Australia. Wish they had something like it on VATSIM. I wish you guys had something like it too. VATSIM is so much fun. At least you all should be getting that new, I think it's called Beyond ATC that's coming out. I think with that you can use your voice to talk to ATC, kind of like VATSIM, except it's a kind of an AI generated thing. Hopefully you all get that, at least. Alright, we're looking for Charlie 6. It's over here to our left. Go ahead and get the landing lights off so we don't blind the ground person.
Just off 520, ready for push.
This is Charlie 6. Are we not getting ground
just
services?
520, what bay?
Well, we'll park it up here, I guess. I don't see our marshaller.
520, what bay are you?
Okay, that'll work. We'll see if GSX has a problem with that.
Just 520, I can see you now, your pushback approved.
Alright, APU's on the bus. I'll shut down engine number 2. Even an AI traffic thing would be awesome, right? Well, there we go. Welcome to Melbourne. So we can see on
Airbus 24, tower.
Here we can take a look at our flight path. We took off out of Hobart, straight out, following the departure. We had a nice little trip over here to the Australia mainland. And here was our nice descent and landing in to Melbourne. Took up the whole runway, mainly because I floated it. We can look at our landing rate, 178. That's actually not that bad. But we did float it, so floating it is not a good time.
Just 511, could you just confirm your bay number?
Yeah, it's Golf 46, just 511.
So I'm going to go ahead and close
Okay, looks like there's a
that.
A320 already parked there, and
I'm going to disconnect from VKBsim so we can figure out this replay thing and see what we need to do for that. So let's go GSX. I want to reset position. We'll restart Kutal. That should work just fine. Let's go into the replay. Stop recording. One thing with the replay is I think you need to have doors closed and flaps down. We're working on it. So if we go into PMDG setup, panel state load, final, execute. It's going to load the plane as it's configured for final approach. So we'll give it just a second. Flaps are down, beacon's on, all our lights should be on. Well, we might have to turn the lights on. But starting up the plane. Arm the speed brakes, just to be sure. Get some lights on. Strobe and all that's on. Perfect. Shall we give it a shot, chat? Let's see what happens. I do know the sound is bugged, so I'm gonna turn up the music a bit. I'll eat the flight data out. Don't think it shows the reverses. I'd be surprised if it does. And we're gonna get the stall warning. So I'm just gonna turn the sim all the way down. At least we'll get a little bit of a replay. I think I might start using this. If it works through the whole freaking thing. We'll see this float. Not bad at all, is it? It's one thing I do miss about X-Plane is the replay in X-Plane, which I've decided I think we are going to stream X-Plane next week. We'll do the Dash 8 Q400 probably. But the replay tool on that, it shows everything. Spoilers, reversers, and it's just simple to use. You just get a bar and you can drag it across. Whereas with this, it's kind of a pain in the butt. So we have to stop. We have to stop that. We have to stop that. Play that. Camera track recording. Get an external view. Take a look on the outside and see what it looks like. Wouldn't be that hard to make one of them, you would think. But apparently Microsoft is struggling pretty hard at it. See that? Little too heavy on the flare. There we go. It was a pretty decent touchdown, though. Alright, I'm gonna try something here. Oh, crap. Okay. Camera track recording. Actually, let's do this. Probably be a little bit quicker if I do it this way. Get just a little bit closer, and then I'll put the camera out. Once again, I appreciate y'all hanging out tonight. If you haven't liked the stream already, please do. Helps out the channel. And subscribe if you haven't already. There's only more streams where this one comes from. Alright, let's try this. Just want to click that button. Wish I could make the camera go faster. I can turn the drone speed up. I can. Can I do that in this? Because I use flow. Oh, I can. Sweet. So we'll say we're plane spotting over here, I guess. We're at the shack. We're plane spotting. Shoot. There you go. There we go. A little bit of plane spotting going on. And how about one more? Stop that, stop that. Camera track recording. Shows the speed brake already up. Such a sick view, right? Alrighty, chat. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream on this. If you're interested, tomorrow about 12 o'clock America time, which I know is gonna be early as shit or late as shit for you all in Australia. I'm gonna be live on Twitch. But if I don't catch you then, I'll catch you next Thursday. Until then, new video going up tomorrow. And we'll have the setup tour coming out on Monday. So I will catch you all later. Y'all stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you all so much for watching. I will catch you all in the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you later. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Dadgummit. All right. We'll catch you later, everybody.